Welcome to Hella Vella, Airik's first three Vella reviews. I am your host, Airik Eisen, and this is Azriel Lawless. And today we are speaking with Tess Combs. We're going to call her Tess. And for the Vella called the First Dryad. Just so you know, these three Vella episodes these first three are short. Do you have other Vella offerings as well, Tess?
Yes, I have 6 total Vellas. So I have one nonfiction, Call Me Muse, and all the rest are some type of fantasy. I have Slit Throat Saga, which is going to be epic fantasy, but also dystopian, and that's one of my favorites. That's also out on Kindle and paperback now, so that's really cool. I have The Young Ones, which is my like Wild West dystopian, and I that one is awesome. Hold on.
I didn't know you had that one. I'm writing it down.
Yes. So I have The Young Ones, which is like I was saying, my Wild West dystopian fantasy. My main character there is technically an engineered sociopath, and she's like the best kingpin, the best worst kingpin ever. You got to read that one to know what I'm talking about. The Young Ones, and I have Tuck Me In, which is imagine like the capital from Hunger Games, but also 1984. So that's dystopian as well. Very fantastical. Okay. I would say borderline tearjerker on that one because it's sad. And that's a very slow burn. There's romance in it as well, but that one will break your heart. So that's Tuck Me In. And yeah, did I get all of them? I think I got all of them.
How many do you have?
I have 6.
Okay.
So I have 6. And the first.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It's a lot to keep up. Oh, the Underglow. How did I forget the Underglow? Oh my gosh. The Underglow is that's my fantasy romance. That's vampires, but I'm taking the vampire trope and flipping it on its head. My vampires are these beings of light that are enslaved by the wealthy society of a Victorian era fantastical realm. And my main character is nonverbal, and she figures out how to start an underground railroad to free all these vampires. So yeah, those are my Vellas.
Awesome. All right. Could you tell us a little bit about this Vella and what drove you to write it?
Yeah, the First Dryad.
Yeah, we didn't even say the name yet.
The First Dryad. That's the name of it. And if you don't know what a dryad is, it's like a tree spirit you could think of, coming from mythology, Greek mythology. And I mean, the tree spirits are in pretty much every mythology. So I'm pulling from a lot of different lores, especially also Caribbean, which is where I'm from. So the premise is that this girl has been in hiding for her whole life, and you're not really sure why. And her secret, which is the reason she's hiding, is sold, and so is she. And she's taken in chains to this palace and basically forced. Should I stop there? Is that enough?
Probably.
I don't want to ruin your first. Okay, I'll stop. But that's the First Dryad. First, yes. Fantasy romance as well. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the main character? I mean, I guess you kind of have. So we'll just move on from that. Okay. All right. Now, since this is a review, let's flip this around and have Azriel ask me questions, and we'll get some answers about this.
Well, let's hear about this. All right. So I'm still not clear. What did you learn from the first 3 episodes? What's going on? Give me some kind of synopsis, Airik.
Well, in the first 3 episodes, she pretty much did it pretty well. There is a girl that is trapped in well, imprisoned, trapped. It sounds like in her brother's basement. Um, and as you're reading it, you kind of wonder a lot of things about her brother and her relationship.
I see.
Um, but uh, yeah,
Did we
and
go
it's
there, Tess? We didn't go there. Did we go there? Is our brother her big love?
Uh, he's not, and I would say you're kind of getting it from the perspective of someone who's not sure, like doesn't know that she's been abused
yeah,
because she doesn't have any reference. So she's been told that she's been very well taken care of.
yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay. So she's been convinced she's got it good, right?
yeah.
Pretty much, she should be very thankful.
And you learned
To-
that the first three?
oh yeah, total gaslight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So this gal is being like manipulated, mentally manipulated by somebody. We don't know who that is yet.
Well, it's her brother. That's pretty clear, right? Don't you?
yeah,
Why
yeah.
you're the. Go for
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right. All right. So, well, then what was your favorite part out of these 3 episodes?
Um, well, there's a lot of tension built, which I like. You feel like something is about to happen, but but nothing has really happened yet.
Mhm.
Like she is released from her prison, but that's where episode 3 ends.
I see.
And you're like, okay, it's about to go down, and then you're like, oh, episode 3 is over. Okay.
Well, then
So
you got to buy something with your coins, all right? And we're not going in there. We're doing the first 3.
yeah,
So, did you want to spend coins? Did you want to go forward?
I did, and I probably will. Um, maybe not today, but at some point.
Awesome. Okay. So then I thought I asked you already, what was your favorite part?
That was you asked me that already. I
That
did.
was, yeah, I know, I thought I did. And so
Yeah.
that was your favorite part? Was she was
Yeah.
getting gaslit?
No, 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 no. I didn't
Gaslighted?
like that, but I the tension that was formed was
Okay.
my favorite part.
Okay. Okay.
Like I knew something was about to happen, and I was getting, and then like the next episode is like 4,000 words, and I was like, I can't read that tonight.
Vella will also, help with insomnia.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, not really.
Well, so tell me then, what did or didn't work that you liked? What did work first?
It was written really well. I do wish there was a little bit more fantasy elements in the beginning, in those first 3 chapters. I mean,
Okay.
it's gonna be there, so maybe not. But I just felt like we should perhaps. Well, I mean, it works because it's from the prisoner's point of view, and she doesn't seem to know a lot about what and who she is. And so, I mean, that part is really well um,
Presented.
presented. Thank you. In in the story, that she doesn't really know that she's actually worth something. She's kind of gaslit into believing that she is supposed to be in a cellar for her entire life. It's like,
Whoa.
wow.
That's a serious, serious head screw job right there.
Right? Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
Eek. So then, well, so what, well, yeah, we've already said there's no real bits of lore or magic in the first 3. So that's a question I usually ask, but I think I'll skip it.
Well, actually, there isn't a lot of lore, but I do think it's interesting that they don't use their real names,
Ah,
um, which is kind of a fairy thing, if I remember correctly, where if anyone that has their real name um, can have power over them.
it's a witch thing too.
So, yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
it's in a lot of lore.
yeah, so it's like it and I got that really strong, which which I do like, you know.
Ooh, I like that too. I like that very much.
What about the seed?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Okay, so did you? Yeah, I that was pretty late last night when I was reading that. So, um,
all right, cough it up. What seed?
So basically, you know, I don't know if we should say that way we could get more people to read. No, I'm kidding.
I'll get Tess to tell me.
We close the end of the interview. Yes.
Yeah. But so there's a point where someone puts a seed, like cuts open her leg and puts a seed inside of her, and it's just like a plant seed, and then it grows, and then they like tear it out of her leg, and I guess it's to make sure that she's pure or something. I'm not real sure. It's kind of a little on the gruesome side. I mean, she doesn't make it gruesome, but you know, in your head, you can definitely see that is not
probably
fun.
to see if she's true dryad, right? You know, you put a seed in my leg. Well, nothing's going to happen except it's going to swell up real big, get a lot of pus, and the seed's coming out. So I think if a tree starts growing out of somebody's leg, they might be a dryad.
That is true.
Smart.
Hey man,
I'd actually
Sunday. I've got my crown on. Okay, I've got my crown on. Huh? Big crowns, no whammy. Yeah. All right. So then that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I can't believe I forgot that.
I don't trust you no more.
I remember. It's okay.
It's a good thing you're here, Tess. Got to keep this man honest. All right, then. So what was your overall rating of it from 1 to 5 on our scale of 1 to 5 overall rating, considering all elements in the story from the 3 episodes you read? What's the rating?
I am going to give it a 5, mostly because how well it was written. I'm definitely going to read further, even though I'm not really a romance reader. So that should tell everybody. And
Tess is a powerhouse, man. She came out of nowhere, but she can write her face off.
Yeah. Now,
write it.
I did want to ask Tess. There's only 5 episodes right now. Is it going to continue, or is it just the 5 episodes?
Yes, it's brand new. It's
okay.
2 weeks old today, I think.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. So y'all quit it. We're getting off the script.
He asked me, why am
I know. Why am I in trouble? No, nobody's in trouble. I got another question. That's it. This is my part is over after this question. All right. So we have a fun to read scale. Like, how dynamic is it? How much does it make you want to plow into the next episode? This is a 1 to 10 scale, you guys. So 1 to 10. How about what's the fun reads meter going to say?
There's a lot of disturbing parts in it, but I kind of like that. So
yeah, because you're wicked sick, dude.
If it was happening to real people, it would be different, but because that they're imaginary, completely, yeah, on board for sure. And the fact that it's really easy to read is also nice, because there are some that would be not so easy.
I'm gonna get a number out of you yet.
Oh, sorry. It's a 10. It's good.
All right.
Good.
I'm looking right at him, so I feel like he has to say.
Oh, he doesn't. Well, first of all, he won't read just anything.
That's
I
true.
have to look at it and make sure it's not. I have to look at it first and bring only the good stuff. So this show's rarely, probably never going to have a bad rating. for the
Yeah.
person that's.
That's
Oh,
hard.
it was totally a 1. Oh, so terrible.
Yeah, could you see
I
that?
mean,
Could you see that? We should
that's
do
so
one, a
good.
parody though. We should do one where you just trash the person. Have them sit there and their heads just hanging down farther.
Pretend it's real. Clickbait it, you know.
all right.
Reviewer destroys author, and yeah,
Yeah.
thousands of clicks. Give them a cut, you know.
Yeah, if we could get Nick Weiskell to do it, I know we could. Either that or what's his name? Zach could do it. You know, Zach would do
Zach
it.
would do it.
Yeah.
Zach's a good writer though, so I'd feel bad giving him a bad review. Even if it was completely in jest, I would feel bad about that.
Yeah. Well, there's no one I would ever do it in for reals at. All right, we're taking Tess's question time now. Jacking
Yeah.
around here. I'll get this all out of here. I'm glad I have a video editor now. Okay.
All right, so we're to the random QA portion. You can ask me any 2 questions about my thoughts on the Vella or anything in general.
Okay. I'm gonna start with I think you've already answered one of them. So,
Okay.
what are the top 3 bits of advice that you would give to any Vella author for their first 3 episodes?
Oh, that's
Well, that's a
actually
good one.
difficult. That is a good one. Let's see here.
Take your time.
I would say do something to catch their attention in the first episode. And leave the 3rd episode wide open so there's more questions than answers. I mean, that is completely the opposite advice. If you're writing a book, don't end a book with completely open, you know, like they have 10 million questions and then it's like the last page. Don't do that. But in Vella, third chapter, definitely do that. You want them to have as many interesting questions as possible. That's just my personal thoughts. For God's sakes, have at least a digital editor.
If only for the first 3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would suggest a live editor, but those aren't necessarily easy to find. PWA, Pro Writing Aid, is amazing. It has its flaws, like it doesn't know where to put commas, which is so weird. And do it.
I said I also don't know where to put commas, so that would not work.
I was going to say the comma is so subjective in the English usage that there's no way AI right now can understand it quite, because AI right now, they've got it up to the level of a rat brain, but it is not quite to the level where it could figure out commas.
I say, if you can't program something to figure it out, then it needs to be reconfigured. People need to figure out commas to a point where a rat brain can understand it.
Or just let us have them. Goodness. Let me just put them places. Okay.
Right.
Let me just can I just have commas? So many rules.
Also, what I use is a program called Speechello, which there's a 30 set. I mean, you can get it for $37, and it will read out your entire manuscript. And it actually has good voice.
Text to voice.
Yeah, it has good voice AI. And the other ones I've tried.
Say it again, what it was called?
Speechello. Speechello.
Okay.
It's by Blaster Suites.
Oh, that's good. We can work with that.
But yeah, no, it's amazing. I love it. Whenever I'm doing the Vella stuff, I'll send it through my Speechello and I'll send them a copy and be like, okay, you listen to it and you can fix what you think needs to be fixed.
Who do you send it to? Speechella?
The Vellans. I send a
Oh.
copy of um of the audio.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
And I can't tell you how many times somebody's come up to me, what's that speech program that you use? Because I'm going to go buy it. But
Let's
yeah, just purchase the first level. Second level is like 40 something dollars a month. You don't want that.
So that was just Tess's first question. We haven't heard her second one yet.
Yeah, I guess that was her
That
first
was a
question.
good question.
It was like a multi-part, I'm trying to get
Yeah.
everything I can.
Sure.
Okay, next question is episode titles. How important do you think those are they not important? Leave them out, put them in, like how do they matter? How do we make them work for us? Whatever you think.
I'm going to be honest, as a young kid that read fantasy novels, episode titles to me are everything, especially if it kind of explains what's going on in the episode. Because it's not common anymore. I mean, I love the fact that people do it in Vella, but like in normal books, it's like, this is chapter 11.
Yes.
And you're like,
yeah. I don't like it.
Chapter 11. Gotcha. Yes, I think they're very important. I also think it's important to do the questionnaires. Because the polls, yeah, because I mean, you do learn things from that, and people. Well, I take the polls. If a poll pops up, if even if I don't care about the Vella, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that.
It's fun. It's fun to
Yeah.
interact with the polls.
It is.
Would you put a poll in your first 3?
Yes,
Or no?
I do. Generally, the first poll is, how'd you find me? The second poll is something random. And then the third poll is, are you going to read further?
Man, don't act like you put this in all your Vellas because it just became available.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
you can't go back and retroactively do it. I've tried.
Yeah, well, I've put out 2 Vellas since
they got the polls.
Yeah.
Dear God, what are you doing over there?
I could
What's in the water?
Too late now.
Well,
I guess that's a good note for future Vellas.
Yeah, the first one is the anthology, so it was already written, and they're like, "Hey, we're adding polls," and I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one, actually, no, in the second one, I'd already had it written, and I was just about to start posting, and they're like, "Hey, we're adding polls," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
That is super cool. Yeah, I'd love that, but go ahead. Go ahead. Tess has got another question. I'm going to learn from it. I know it.
Does Tess have another question?
Mm-hmm. I think that was it. My other one, you have already answered, I think. My other question was, what's the most compelling aspect of my writing? But I think we went over that. You said tension. So
yes, the tension is amazing.
Thank you. That's
all right. Now all of her Vellas will be linked below. Do you have a link tree?
I don't. I have a Vella tag that has all of mine on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I do that too, but all right. So that is the show. If you want more from me, you can check into one of my 6 offerings: my psychological horror, Jacked, my urban fantasy, The Fearless Adept, or my dark fantasy, Maiden Bloom, Age of Myths, Book 1. And you can check out any of my anthologies with some of my fellow Vella authors. You have Season 1, Horrors of Syntitech Anthology, Season 2, Life After Death, Season 3, If Time Moved Both Ways, and those are all by the Vellans Florilegium. If you're interested in becoming a Vellan writer, you can find us on Facebook with the word Vellans, which is VELLAINS, or check out our website on vellans.com. And that's our show. Thank you, Tess, for coming and saying hi to us and letting us review your new book. And hope everybody has a wonderful day.
All right. Bye, everyone.